Welcome to Sumita Roy's English Classroom. I'm Professor Sumita Roy. Now you have a test for the mid-level. This is a practice test of identifying and categorizing nouns. Since we had 3 videos detailing all the nouns and how they are used. Earlier we had a test for beginners, which was only making simple sentences. That is an important part of improving communication. Grammar, as I told you, is the foundation of good, accurate communication. Many of you are eager to learn English quickly, but such quick methods are not completely perfect. You learn something quickly for a competitive exam or for an interview, and then immediately you forget it. Lifelong, you struggle to improve your language. That mistake you should not make. That is why look through the videos of the nouns again if you have problems. Then do these 2 exercises which are given here. There are 2 passages, and you have to identify all the nouns in these 2 passages. Then you have to also categorize them. Today, we are only going to take up the test. I will give you the practice test video today. 2 days later, you will get the answers. Because as I suggested earlier in the beginner's test also, all of you are busy. You might not have time to do the test immediately. Look through the passages once, then sit down quietly when you have a little free time and do, if you can't do both the passages at once, do them one by one. You see the video, half for the first passage, complete identifying the nouns, then go to the next passage. Then in the third slide, I will tell you the various categories in which you have to divide the nouns. Already you know this if you have seen the 3 videos of the nouns. This test is based on those 3 videos. Whatever we have explained and whatever exercises we have done there, whatever examples you have noted in those videos will help you in this. I have given you identification of nouns in a context, because if we give sentences which are just individual sentences, people learn those, but it doesn't help their communication. Again and again, I'm repeating this point also, that the passages which are given to you in the course of the English classroom are passages you can use for listening, reading, speaking, and writing. These are all passages which will give you ideas about how to improve your English, how to correct your English, how to speak better English, and many ideas too. Let us now look at the first passage. I'll read it out for you, and then we move on to the second passage. The question here is, pick out the nouns in the following passage. The passage is this. The legendary river Saraswati originated in the glaciers of the Himalayas. It flowed between Shivalik mountains and Adi Badri, 30 kilometers north of Jagadri. Satellite pictures prove this theory. Glacier experts and scientists have also supported this view. Thousands of years back, this river crossed the regions of Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan. The direction of the river was traced with the help of satellite images. The Vedic civilization flourished on the banks of this river. Recent excavations by archaeologists have identified more than 2,000 cities on the banks of this river. Then there was the Harappan civilization. It had excellently planned cities. spacious streets, good sewage system. Their water conservation was also very good. Yoga may have been popular at that time, as a coin discovered on the site shows a male figure seated in a yogic posture. This is the first passage. First, what you have to do is just pick out the nouns which are used in this passage. Now we come to the second passage. Again, you have to do the same as you had to do in the first passage. That is, pick out the nouns in the following passage. The passage has changed, but the question remains the same. That is, which are the nouns? The passage uses many nouns. In these two slides, all you have been asked to do is to identify which of the words used in this passage are nouns. You are not asked to do anything more than that. So when you look at the passage, when you hear me reading the passage out to you, please concentrate on the nouns. Once you have identified the nouns, in the next slide, I shall tell you what you need to do with those nouns. Again, as I have mentioned, I'm repeating myself just before this passage also. These two passages, this entire test, mid-level practice test 1, is based on the 3 noun videos which we have. The explanation videos are very long, so you might not be able to see the whole video, have the patience to see the whole video. But if you're really interested in your English, don't go for those quick fix methods which say English in 2 seconds or English in 5 days. That way you learn something which you forget. But here you are making a strong foundation for yourself so that your English is very good. That is what we want, that our communication should be very good. So if you are really looking for that kind of excellence, that kind of level, then please do the exercises by first observing what has been explained in the videos with examples, with exercises, and then come to the test video. Let me now read out to you the second passage. The world's environment is suffering due to the greed of human beings. The situation has created serious concern about the survival of life on the planet. Therefore, each human being has to take the responsibility of maintaining ecological balance. The need is to ensure that natural resources are used cautiously. Any kind of waste is a threat to the Earth's existence. The onus of improving the environment lies with each individual. Ecological intelligence is a necessary trait now. This attitude helps in conservation. For instance, water is a precious resource and should not be wasted. Trees should be planted and no trees should be cut down. Rivers and oceans should not be polluted. Fuel is in shortage, so needs to be used sparingly. Energy such as electricity should not be wasted. Plastic and paper should be recycled. All this should be done by each one of you. Those were the 2 passages which I have set for this test. Now look at what this slide says. Identify which of the nouns in the two passages belong to the following categories. You must remember that one noun will fit into more than one division here. If you look at the videos where all the nouns were explained, there are 3 videos on nouns already uploaded on the English classroom. You will find a tabular form there, a table, where you have 4 columns: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, and abstract noun. You can make one page column like that. Then look at all the nouns you have identified in the passage and see which column you can put the nouns into. Then you come to the next table. You make again another table where you put 3 columns: uncountable, countable singular, and countable plural. Once more, you look at all the nouns which you have and then put them in the right columns. You must remember that many of the nouns which you have identified will fit into more than one of these. It is not exclusively one noun in one column. That is not correct. In the box which I have given, proper, common, collective, abstract, no repetitions will be there. Each passage, the nouns will occur there only once. Similarly, in the uncountable, countable, singular, plural one, you won't have repeats within that category. Within that table, you won't have the repeats of the noun. The noun will belong exclusively to one of the 3 categories. But they might have already occurred in the previous table which you have made, that is the proper noun, common noun, etc. A common noun can be a countable noun. A common noun can be a singular or a plural noun. These are all possible. So it will come in the first table as a common noun. It will come in the second table as a plural noun. Don't get confused about this. So make 2 tables. That is why I have put them in discrete units. Now look at the third category, and that is the subject, object, possessive. All the nouns which you have identified and you have put in these 2 tables will once more come here, depending on what is the work they are doing in the sentences where these nouns occur. Sometimes the same noun which is a subject of one sentence might be the object of another sentence. So the same noun occurs twice in a passage. You have to identify in which sentence it is the subject and in which sentence it is the object. These are all possibilities. There might be a place where, a column where no noun comes at all. You might make these tables and you find in one of the columns of one table, not a single noun has come. That should not trouble you at all, because that is how tests are set. The tests are set in such a way that you use your intelligence. It is not a mechanical test here. It is a test of how much have you understood, how well you will be able to use them when you speak English, when you write English. Therefore, you need to do these 3 columns and put the right nouns in the right column. As I told you, after 2 days, I will give you the answers. Please complete working out these exercises. After 2 days, you can check your answers and see where you made mistakes. Suppose you have made many mistakes, go back and do the exercise again, that is this video, once more, without looking at the answers. Even if you do the exercise 5 times and then get everything correct, it is worth doing. Practice makes us perfect. So the more you practice, the better it is. There are many teachers who are also watching, I'm told. You have said and you have messaged that you are teachers some of you are students or some others who are using English, please remember that these practice tests are very, very essential for all of you, because that will tell you how much you're learning, whether you're learning anything at all or not. And it will impel you to share the English classroom with all of the people who you think are interested in learning English. Your own students, your friends, your family, your neighbors. Some people are saying that the whole family is watching. That is wonderful. But please remember that when you are doing the test, you have to do it individually. Please do not do collectively the tests, because then you will not know whose answers are correct, who has learnt some English. All the best for your test. Answers in 2 days.